So I think a lot of them, even data of the government suggests that a lot of young people go astray in those growing years. There's either peer pressure, the influence that media has, cinema, now web series and internet and all of this. And many people succumb knowingly or unknowingly to all kinds of addictions, which they don't realize in the ecstasy of experiencing them, that in the long term these will cause harm to them and their lives irrevocably, whether it is alcohol, drug abuse, these kind of things. How does a spiritual master, an enlightened master like you, how do you envisage showing direction and path to youth who have unfortunately gone in this direction, to bring them back to the highway of success, of enlightenment?
No doubt, Vikram, you have raised the most important challenge which is before the youth in modern times, and that is the challenge of drugs and alcohol. On a large scale, people in the colleges, universities, they have become victims of drugs and alcohol. Very many of them becoming addicts because these things are by nature addictive. No doubt they are doing great harm to their physiology. At the same time, they are also destroying their future. They are also depriving them of any success or joy in their future life. No doubt it needs to be handled as it should be a top priority for the government also. It should be a top priority for the guardians, for the society, for the family, as well as it should be a top priority on the agenda of the youth themselves also. The first thing which I would like to highlight in this regard is that there is some sort of pleasure, some sort of joy, which they find after using a drug or going for a drink. That joy, that pleasure, that high which they feel, it keeps on attracting them day by day, every day, and that becomes an addiction. And ultimately, it destroys because it is only destructive in nature. Now the question arises as to what is the remedy. The first thing which I would suggest, without any substitute, no suggestion will work. Only preachings and teachings will not work, because preachings and teachings are a law. When I was a student in the University of Allahabad, we had invited Ilachan Joshi ji, and a literature par excellence. And he had been a chain smoker. In that cultural event, he was invited as chief guest. On the stage, he had been smoking cigarettes one after the other. And just to make him ashamed of his habit, we knew that he was a chain smoker. We had organized one essay competition in the university on the harms and damages caused by smoking. And the student who had got the first prize for a 200-word essay, he was also invited on the stage to read his essay, which was highlighting the harmful effects of smoking. You will be surprised when he started reading the essay on harmful effects of smoking. His students were clapping from moment to moment on every sentence. And Ilachan Joshi ji was continuing smoking and lighting his cigarettes one after the other. He did not stop. After the boy had read out the whole, instantly Ilachan Joshi ji was requested to offer his comments on the essay. You will be surprised to know what he said. For the first 5 minutes, he spoke great praises about the essay. And he praised the essay in such a beautiful way that nobody present there could imagine. And after 5 minutes, he spoke one more sentence, the last sentence. अब आपने समझ लिया होगा ये निबंध मुझे कितना अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. लेकिन मेरे मित्रों, इस सिगरेट की एक कस लेकर देखो, ये उससे भी कई गुना अच्छी. What I mean to say, the effects, the person who has become an addict to drugs or drinks, it is very difficult to get him drop his addiction simply by preaching, because he can preach much better than those who may be available to teach them, either parents or anybody else. What he experiences out of drug and drinks seems many times more pleasurable than any preachings that can be given. So, what I mean to say that some substitute is required. And I have to tell you, Vikram, our physiology is a very complex and unique system. It has got all the ingredients within to produce the joys and pleasures which drugs and drinks can offer. We should simply know the art of producing it within our body. Our sages and seers, thousands and thousands of years ago, had given the device of meditation, which was a source of great ecstasy from within. And the whole spiritual literature offered by sages and seers in the Vedic and Upanishadic treatises explains the great benediction, the great joy, the great bliss which meditation can create from inside. It is the real high that is created by meditation. Meditation is simply a device of conscious living. It is simply a way to expand your consciousness. When your consciousness expands, when your awareness grows, when you start centering within, then all the chemicals, dopamine and all that which this medical science has identified as chemicals for creating joy, enthusiasm, or so-called high, all those chemicals are created within. And the beauty of these chemicals which are produced within, which have been termed as ananda, even medical science has agreed to this truth that our body organism is competent enough to produce that ananda element from inside. So why to go out for these drugs and drinks which give only temporary joy, a feeling of temporary high? At the same time, they destroy our physiology, they destroy our mind. At the same time, they become addictive. So, harmful effects of the drugs and drinks will also be avoided. At the same time, the real bliss, the real joy of life would be our experience. And thirdly, it will grow our consciousness. It will become a source of unleashing the potential which is hidden within us. Therefore, hereby I make an all-out, wholehearted appeal to the youth of the country that they should not miss even a single moment in adopting mind power meditation as their most powerful tool to deal with the problem of intake of these substances.
Along with this, Guruji, I think the youth is also a time when the young people are discovering themselves, their bodies, hormones are at play. So love, romance, sexuality, all these aspects are blossoming in them. Probably people are discovering, their likes and dislikes during that time. And that can also sap away a lot of vital energy, their mind space at a time when they need to focus also on their careers, on building their future. But of course, love and relationships are equally important. So how do you see this, particularly for the young people? What is the advice when it comes to these growing up years, how to handle matters of the